We will now look at the offset function and how to find values using a reference from it. For example, if we want to find from this data of production in various shifts in various days, what production was there on Monday in shift 3? Let us try to find this. Instead of VLOOKUP or index, we'll be finding it using the offset. Let us see here. For an offset, we first need a reference, the starting point. Let it be this cell. Now from this reference cell, whatever we have defined, we need to give the position where we are going. In this case, we want to find this cell on Monday and in this row for shift 3. So from the reference, we need to move 3 rows to get here. So we can count this as 0, 1, 2, and 3. So the rows we will move from the reference will be 3. And the columns, this is 0 again, and this is 1. So for Monday, we take column 1. This is the most basic use of offset. And let us see what value we have. Offset 3 rows and 1 column from the reference value or cell. So here we go. Offset can be used in another manner. We can find sum, average, and similar group functions using offset. Let us see how. Here we want the sum of production for Monday. We will write sum again. That is our basic function. Now inside this, to define what we want the sum of, we'll use the offset. Again, we'll take a convenient reference. Let it be I-27 again. Now the starting point from where we'll define the range that we want to sum, that will be this, which comes at 1 row below the reference. So what I'll write here in rows is 1. The columns which we are considering is again in the first column. So we are starting at 1, 1. That will reflect here. So this gives the starting point, and now we will move to decide how much height and width we need. To find the sum here, we need to sum these 4 cells. So the height is the total number of rows that we are summing. So we are now defining an area here. This becomes the height, and the width, there is just 1 column that we are using. So 1. 2 brackets will be closed here. Let us see the result. It has added all up and got us 13. We can extend the formula and we will get the values again, but you can see that this reference is shifting sideways. If we want to keep this as the reference again, we'll have to change some values here. For example, we want a fixed reference to this one. So this is I-27. Now the rows for this starting point will still be 1. The columns starting here, this is 0, and we have to go till 6. So the column is 6 now. Now from this point, we will go down 4 cells. So the height that we consider now is 4 again, and the width is in the same cell, so 1, in the same column. Let us see a more practical example of offset here. Here the user defines that average has to be of serial number 2 to 11, and this is my set of values with the serial number. Now if I want the result here, this time I'll use the offset with an average. Let us take the reference as this cell. Now we'll use the user inputs. So the rows will start from here, from the second one. The columns, it is in the first column. So we got the starting of our range. S1 gave us the first row where we'll start from, and it is in the first column after this serial number, so we took 1. Now the height can also be obtained from the user input. We'll have to subtract S1 from U1. So U1 minus S1, but we also must add a 1 here. This is because we are taking this from average of serial number 2 to 11. We are taking all of these. And this is a total of 10 values. But 11 minus 2 will give us 9. So this difference takes it 1 lower than what we want. So it is a serial number. So we cannot just directly add a mathematical difference and say that that is the number of numbers that we have there. And the width is within one column we are finding the average. We put 1. We have the answer 13.1. Simply drag and select and see here. Count is 10, sum 131, and average of selected is 13.1 as we see here. Now the user may enter anything else. These values will keep on changing. Let us see some other useful functions. Here we have my name. Now we want to find the first name and last name out of this. We can do it using the left and right. This left function will take a complete text and extract a specific number of characters moving from the left to right. So suppose we put an 8 here. The left will now look at this text and move 8 characters left to right. This gives us the first name. If we make this right, we will get the last name. We'll need 7 here. And we can make this the last name. But this is not the general case. This applies for this name. But if the number of letters are different in some other name, this will not work. We can define a general case again using the left and right. But we'll need something more than just this. Let us see. The text of the name, whatever it is, will be in this. Now from the left, we will count not 8 times or any other number. We will count up to this position of the blank, because that is where the first name will end. And one less the position of this blank will be the length that I want to take out from the left. So the position of this will be found by the find function. We find a given text which we defined here within this text here. We are starting from the first position. We don't need this option. Now this will give us position 9, but the name will end, first name will end 1 before the blank. So we need to get it subtracted by 1, and we subtract 1 and I used a bracket at the end. This is how I found the first name. How do we find the last name now? The easiest method is we use the right now. This is the text, but the number of characters would be found differently. Find always counts from left to right, but here we have to move in the opposite direction. So what we can do is that we can find the length of the complete name first. We use the length function for this, len, length of the text, and from this we subtract the previous find value, that is up till this blank space. We'll get that by find again. Within this text, Now the total length minus the position of this will subtract this full thing out of the total length, remaining these 7 to be found from the right. And in this way the full function will get completed and you will get the last name. Even if I change this now, it will adjust and give me the last name. Lastly, we'll see the end of month formula here. Especially in advanced applications where we are making, suppose, a table where we have monthly data, but we want data only to be assigned to the end of a month. We want to convert other dates to the date the same as the end of that month. How can we do that? So let us first write a date here. This is in date format. Now the end of month formula, it is written like this: EO month function has 2 arguments. The start date is simply the date which we are referring to. So in this case we are referring to this date. Now this gives us the flexibility to find the last date of a month even apart from this month. If I want it in this month, I'll write a 0 here. This will give me the end of month of this date. That is the end of February 2021. And that turns out to be 28th February. So this is the end of February. But if I want the end of March and then of December 2020, I can find it using the same formula. We put end of month. Let this be the start date again. But I am going to the next month. So now the months would have 1. We are moving ahead. We'll have to convert this to the date format. And 31st, this is the last date of the next month, December. In this case, we'll go in the negative direction since we are going back in time. So December was 2 months before this February. This is how to use end of month.